Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine has arrived at race number 2 of the weekend at Hockenheim. We are all set and ready. There is raindrops in the air, and this is going to be absolutely fantastic. Well, I've just quite literally come off F1 Academy. That was 4 minutes ago. We've had to go off air quickly for that to be able to bring you this race as well. And it's going to be a crazy race. We're looking forward to it. And I'm sure we will get an absolutely fantastic contest by the end of it. Well, we welcome you up here to the commentary box. My name is Omi. Delighted to be with you. No Wes, due to a thing called time zones, unfortunately. He wasn't able to join us here today. But yes, if you have not seen that F1 Academy race, stay with us now. Join us for GB3 after. But then you've got a bit of a break between GB3 and F1. In that slot, go tune in. Go watch back. Sync our JB Motorsports commentary to the F1 Academy YouTube stream and enjoy, is all I'm going to say. But, not going to spoil anything, but what I will say is there was, let's just say, a bit of rain that changed things up. And the reason why I mentioned that, I wouldn't want to spoil that, but I'm mentioning it because there is drops here. So just in case, if you're wondering why I might be like so crazy about the rain right now, I've just come off a race that's just completely gone wild due to rain, and a few minutes later I'm to this broadcast. So I've got to reset my brain now and be like, okay, let's put focus on FRECA. Forget what just happened at Singapore. The weather's different. The weather can be different. It's all different here, okay? Right, deep breath. Anyway, looking forward to this FRECA race. Let's run you through the grid for it then. We'll take you over to the battle screen as we do so. On pole position, it's Enzo Dellini, and he shares row 1 with Matteo Di Paolo, who now has a deficit to try close in the points battle by 10 points. Tito Carto is next to Evan Gilter. They are 3rd and 4th in position today. Freddie Slater's in 5th, and then it is Akshay Bora, who is in 6th. Akshay Bora looked disappointed after his position on the podium. Yesterday, Gouda was the rookie winner yesterday, then he's next to Kanad Soleil. Yamakoshi's in 9th, and then it's Nant Howard Birnbach. Hit with a grid penalty today for P10. Jun Nakamura in 11th, and then it is Pedro Clever in 12th. Michael Belov is next to Nikita Bedrin. They share row 7 out of 14 on the grid. Rashid Al-Taheri is next to Ricky Liu. They are 15th and 16th, and then it is Edu Robinson next to James Egozi. A great drive, an underrated drive I have to say for him. Giovanni Maschio in 19th, and then it is Kasper Stuka who finds himself in 20th. Zeneri Shi is next to Jack Beaton, driving for Prema Racing, who's in 22nd. Yuan Pusue is part of row 12, along with Anea Frey. And then it is Tim Gerhards next to Yaroslav Vasilaho. They are sharing row 13, and the final row 14, is Edward Borner, next to Saka Al-Mashari. So that is how the grid looks for this Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine race. Well, it looks like we're going to be getting our first standing start incoming, because of course we did not have that. We of course did not have that yesterday due to the wet patches. There are still wet patches around this circuit, but luckily I'm excited to say we will be bringing you a standing start from the grid, and the drivers will be released in formation. Nervy moments then as we prepare to go racing. Enzo Dellini on pole, Di Paolo in 2nd. Keep an eye on Tito Carto and Evan Gilter. They will be together, the ARTs, on the 2nd row of the grid. And then Freddie Slater and Akshay Bora. The rain will definitely be coming down eventually as well. So it's all about surviving. They've all got slick compound of tyres. Final cars are getting themselves into position on the grid. Nervy moments then. We've got an aborted start. We've got an aborted start. Think something's happened to our pole sitter. Think it's... something has happened to our pole sitter. Green flag at the back will be waved, but it's an aborted start, so we won't be getting anywhere. Start's delayed. Start has been delayed. We were building up the tension, getting ready for the 5 lights to go out. Yes, that won't be the race beginning immediately. Oh, it looks like the rain's coming down, so we're no longer doing that. At the last opportunity, they were getting themselves into position. We were getting ready for a wet start on the grid. So, sorry, it wasn't Enzo Delaney. It looked like that he was pointing out something, but it wasn't Enzo Delaney. It's just they're delaying it purely because of the rain. Well, I mean, I seemed so certain that we were going to get a standing start, but maybe because they were all lined up on the grid, and that message came through exactly when the last car got put on the grid. Okay. In that case, we will be waiting around a little bit longer. They're taking all the trolleys. I think we're going to get wet tyres installed and watch it be a safety car start then. All the buzz I was about to build up for a standing start could be about to go, everybody. Would be a shame if we don't get to at least have one standing start this weekend for FRECA. Would be a huge, huge shame. And also, I've just realised we can't actually have this delay. Like this delay shouldn't be happening. I need to go over to GB3 later. So FRECA is screwing me over at the one time I need them to behave. So yeah, start's been delayed. Ponchos are going up, by the way, everybody. Well, this is just extraordinary. Start's been delayed, wet circuit, and I think they wanted to avoid the situation of what F1 Academy had, where it just starts bucketing it down with rain. While you are green flag racing, they want to deal with it. It all could have gone quite wild had they actually started that race. And then it started raining, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see what is going to take place out there on the circuit. Okay, well, I guess that gives us a perfect opportunity to go through what we saw yesterday in our race. We saw a crazy battle between Freddie Slater and Matteo Di Paolo, the first time they really locked horns across the entire season. I know they had the 3 wide at Spain with Enzo Delaney. Just receiving some information as well. Possible issue for Delaney. So I maybe was correct in terms of there being something. For Enzo Delaney, it looks like. I mean, they've delayed it and now it's given everyone a chance to change tyres. As we make our way through. Enzo Delaney then, starting on pole position. Freddie Slater can be quite good in the wet conditions. That's what we have learnt. So definitely keep an eye on him. So start's delayed and we don't have a further message. So I'm going to be preparing for GB3's delayed coverage to be set up. We're heading into a full proper delayed procedure, by the way. It's not like we wait a few minutes, we get going again. It's a full proper delayed procedure, which is the absolute worst thing they could have given us in terms of our. But that's just our luck. That is just our luck. Starts in 10 minutes' time. We could have covered the entire F1 Academy podium by then. Such a shame. Well, 10 minutes until we can get going. So the entire start's delayed. So I'm hearing that it was Delaney who actually caused it. Because he wasn't happy about something. So that's the information I'm receiving, not certain on that. Either lost the engine or stalled or something bad happened, I would assume. Okay. Cool. So it's basically... So, now, what does the ruling say about this then, is the question. Because from my understanding, if you do cause another formation lap, that warrants you... to start from the pit lane. But I would assume that it's kind of a weird one because we've had two scenarios take place in one. But there's no official confirmation. I would assume they intended to delay the start anyway. Push to pass is disabled as well. Push to pass has been disabled. So the race starts in 8 minutes. I don't know whether it's a combination of all these things or what's gone on, but Enzo Dellini pointed something out. They aborted the start, and then they delayed the start. So I don't know, I don't quite understand whether it's purely due to Dellini, and then they took the opportunity to delay it, or was it fully down to conditions? Which, you know, to be fair, with Dellini's waving, there would have had to be another formation lap. But the critical thing you have to remember is they would have set off for the formation lap straight away. We wouldn't get this delayed start. So I could see the scenario of Enzo Dellini giving that message, them aborting the start, and then the race director team being like, okay, okay, perfect opportunity, actually, let's stop it now, and have a 10-minute break so the tyres can change and all of that stuff. So I think that is what we've seen, and that's what's happened in this scenario. Possibly. I've not got any official confirmation on that, so you will have to wait and see in regards to that. But yeah, we've got around 6 minutes to go. This is now the moment where I take a look at how the schedule is looking, because, I mean, any form of break, once again, is gone for me. GB3. I need to hope that doesn't remain on schedule too much, and maybe that gets delayed. Let's take a look. This is the moment where we do some live checking of stuff. Okay, so our schedule sees us. 10:30 is where I need to be over at GB3. So, getting close. I'd of course prefer to be on air like at 25 past or something. But I don't think I'll get that luxury, unfortunately, everybody. Really don't think I'll get that luxury. So, we'll see. 5-minute board's been given. Now, will it be a rolling start now? Because they've delayed it. Oh, well, we built all of the hype for a standing, so if we do get a rolling, then... Oh, God. Push to pass is disabled. Now, I don't know whether that's just a overall message for this race, or is it quite obviously because we aren't right now racing, that there's no push to pass to be used, and there's no push to pass needed type of scenario. So, we'll see on that. We'll see, but that could make overtaking quite tricky if they don't have any push to pass to use. Race, by the way, has been shortened to 28 minutes, understandably so. Because we don't have the time to run the entire duration of racing. So, well, we've just had a race control message come through that push to pass has been disabled. So, yeah, no push to pass. Yeah, so I was just quickly hearing some information in my ear. Looks like there is a bit of an issue for the driver of Almasheri G4 Racing. Engine covers off as well, so that's not helpful. Not helpful at all. Rain's coming down on our camera. Oh, well, that's a shame. That's a shame that we won't get the start that we could have got. Because now it's being registered at a wet start and everything. 3-minute board time. How exciting. 3-minute board is what we get coming on screen as the drivers continue to prepare. Final bit of preparation now. Go on. We've got the G4 car on the wet. This is going to get interesting. Another scenario where you have drivers on the back on those wet compound of tyres. So the current conditions that we find ourselves with, the track is wet. Air temperature is right now 11 degrees. The wind speed's at 2.6. So it is a bit of a cold day at Hockenheim. Hockenheim weather being Hockenheim weather. The race will begin in just over that 2 minutes time. So now the extra personnel begin to leave the grid. And the final bit of preparation go on. Giovanni Maschio is on the wet compound of tyres as well. Giovanni Maschio there in the number 99 is on those compound of tyres. So let's see how he is going to be able to get on. Here we go. Get ready for another situation. Yeah, no push to pass. I think it's quite interesting. If I remember correctly in our wet races before, that hasn't quite been done, but that's interesting. That's interesting. We'll see what they make of it. Maybe we can get it enabled at some point later on. Something tells me we're not going to be getting a standing start for this race, which will be a huge shame because we haven't had one for FRECA this weekend at all, and that would be 3 races in a row where we've had a standing start, which I think will be very disappointing. 3rd race in a row where we've had a rolling start, that would be. So let's hope that we can avoid it and we can get going. Because of course, and to be fair, the one that we had in Spain and yesterday, both due to unequal conditions on the grid. So it wasn't actually rain, it was unequal conditions on the grid. So here we go then. Deep breath. Let's get ready for a formation lap. Well, it's not a start behind the safety car, though. That's one thing. So I think we should still be able to get a standing start in. I hope at least. As the drivers will very shortly set off on the formation lap. All will happen quite quickly as they wait on the grid. Green lights on, formation laps underway. Well, as it's not behind the safety car, I assume it will be a standing start. We should actually get a standing start today, which will be quite nice. Yeah, 28 minutes, by the way, on the clock. So that's a normal thing that we've seen. If you don't actually get, if you don't get everything sorted in the one formation lap, but there's an extra formation lap beyond, then it can get increased. It can get increased to a major level. The fans pack the grandstands here at Hockenheim. Now, I'll be interested to see whether Delaney comes in and starts from the pit lane or not. As well, we'll see what he will do as they make their way through. Okay, quickly running you through the grid once again. It is Delaney, then Di Paolo, Tartacato and Evan Gilter are together on row 2. Then it is Freddie Slater next to Akshay Bora. They are row 3 of the grid. Dion Gauda is next to Kanato Lee. They are row 4. 7th and 8th positions is where they'll be heading from towards turn number 1. Next up is Hii Yamakoshi next to Nand Howard Biran Bhakti. And then it will be row 6, seeing Jun Nakamura next to Pedro Claro. Michael Belov is next to Nikita Bedrin. They share row 7. Row 8 sees Rashid Al Daheri next to Ricky Liu. They are 15th and 16th as well. And then 17th and 18th is Edie Robinson next to James Egozi. And then it is Giovanni Maschio next to Kasper Stuka. They are 19th and 20th. January Shi is in 21st. Then it's Jack Beaton The Premier Racing man going from 22nd, Johan Pusway is next to Enea Frey, who is back with us as well. Tim Gayhard is next to Yaroslav Vasilaho, they are 25th and 26th. Edward Borna next to Sakal Masheri as well. G4 Racing Cars going for those wet compound of tyres. Will it reward them is the question. Okay, it's a wet track, so the lights are on. That's what they've been instructed. Looks like we will be getting to a standing start territory. Enzo Dellini is forming up on the grid. So here we go then. It is time for what could be a very crazy FRECA race. Enzo Dellini in position. Matteo Di Paolo in second. And then the two Frenchmen of Tata Carter and Evan Gilter, who both drive for a French team of ART, in behind as well. So here we go. Should we try this one more time, everybody? We are about to get the green flag at the back of the screen. And that will indicate to us, after a bit of a wait, it is time to go racing in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in Hockenheim. Lights out, FRECA is underway, and a good reaction time from pole position for Enzo Dellini. Matteo Di Paolo has second place into turn 1. Evan Gilter diving up the inside of his teammate. Big crash immediately into the barrier. Nikita Bedrin hard into the wall along with one of the Trident cars, and we didn't last long. After a delay, we find ourselves with Nikita Bedrin and I think that is Ricky Liu, who has found their way to the wall. A huge accident to start the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and we will surely need a safety car, and that is disappointment for those two drivers. We can see them moving in the car, and that is the most important thing. The safety car will be out, but the field will continue to race and overtake until that point as we go side by side, and it is Enzo Dellini hanging up against Matteo Di Paolo. Meanwhile, there goes Akshay Bora trying to dive up the inside. Can he try to take the place as they make their way through? And we do get to the safety car now. And great to see them two out of the car. Absolutely wild stuff. That was ludicrous stuff as we went racing, and they found their way right into the barrier. But most of all, as I mentioned, both are able to walk away and both are okay. That's what we would have wanted to see. Okay, the medical team, make sure that they're down there. As Ricky Liu just tries to make sure the car's all nice and secure and ready. And they all walk away from that incident. So the recovery procedure will now begin around this circuit. So let's see how that is going to go. Maskia finds himself, by the way, in 15th. He's gained positions, 4 to be precise. So the Alpine safety car waiting for the field to come. And then we can get going. With the running of this race. The green flag running is what we'll be after. Let's hope we get it. Let's go back to the start of the race and see what happened. And, well, Enzo Dellini got a perfect start. Di Paolo not good in comparison to Dellini, but the advantage he had was good. Looking further back for contact. Oh, Bedrin, basically from the side. And I think, was that Nant Howard Biran Bakhti who was the other car involved? Who was around that area? Just looking to try to see who that other Trident driver was. Yes, so it was Nant Howard Biran Bakhti. So Bedrin and Nant Howard Biran Bakhti get into each other, and then there's Ricky Liu, who finds his way sent into the wall. Is the way that accident happens. Okay, well that makes sense. That makes sense. In terms of how that takes place. As they both run into the wall together. Never want to, of course, see cars on top of each other in that way. But yeah, they made their way into the wall in dramatic fashion. But most of all, as I've mentioned, it is great to see that they were able to walk away from that incident. Great to see that they were able to walk away from that incident. So now we will get into a phase of the race where everyone will reset and will prepare to go again from the next point. Okay, we've got 24 minutes, just under that on the clock to go. If you're just joining us, we have had a huge accident between a Trident and a Santalock racing car. Nikita Bedrin making contact with Ricky Liu. Nant Howard Birnbachty also involved, but he's been able to get away with it and continue in here in this race. So the clearance of the two cars are happening. They've got two tractors down there to clear the two separate cars that are stranded and that were on top of each other. Once that is cleared, we should be able to go back racing. We have unpredictable weather that is currently taking place as well. So you've got to be cautious and you've got to be careful in terms of what way do you approach this race. Big damage to the cars. We will be, of course, racing in this championship in 3 weeks' time to crown a champion. So I'm looking forward to that. E4 will be in support as well, so we'll have two things to cover, and probably two championship finales that go down to the final race as well. But yeah, that was huge into the barrier, huge stuff into the wall for Bedrin as he clattered the side in a dramatic way of Ricky Liu. The two drivers able to walk away from that incident in one piece, luckily. Their cars, not so much. So let's run you through the order then in terms of what we've seen at the start. Delaney leads the way. DiPaolo's in second. Tata Carter's in third, and Evan Gilter is in fourth. That's your top four at the moment. Slater's in fifth. Gowd is in sixth. Then it is Bora, Lee, Calero, and Yamakoshi. That's your top 10 at the moment. Jin Nakamura is in 11th, if I can get my words out. Michael Belov is in 12th. Igozi and Al Jahari are 13th, 14th. Mascube has gained places since the start. He's in 15th. And then it is Jack Beaton. He's gone on the attack a little bit. He's in 16th. Stuka Robinson in 17th and 18th. Gerhard, Shi, and Sway. They are 19th, 20th, and 21st. Then it is Anea Frey and Al Mashari and Vesilaho, who are the order. So they now are clearing the two cars, so they're just making their way through. So I feel like we could get the safety car in at the end of this lap. Could get it in at the end of this lap, and then we should be able to go back racing. Remember, in this championship we have got a 30-minute plus 1 lap allowance of racing. So once the 30-minute ends, we can still get 1 lap beyond that point at the same time. Which is the good news, which is the great news, as the field attacks their way through. Everyone enjoying their food as well here on this afternoon. On this afternoon off racing, as they look on and watch the cars as they make their way through. Lovely, we're getting a few waves down there from those drivers. Brilliant to see indeed. But yes, everyone keeping nice and healthy down there as we approach 11 AM local time. So that's the current state of the race. So, in terms of the scheduling today, we've had F1 Academy in terms of feeder series. Next up is GB3. I'll also be covering British F4, which will be at Brands Hatch. So looking forward to that, to see how that race is going to play out. The British F4 contest will be exciting, exciting, exciting stuff, I am sure. Okay, well that is basically a quarter of the race done, just over that as well at the moment. In this type of racing, the safety car does take quite a lot of time, doesn't it, to clear up. Incidents. I think it should be in at the end of this lap, and the field should finally be released after so long. We should be able to get it back in. Safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. For anyone wondering where Wes is, well, he'll hopefully be back with us at Monza. Time zones haven't allowed him to join us here today, so he should hopefully be back with us for a big title finale that should be coming your way at the Temple of Speed at Monza. It will be exciting, I am sure. The safety car is finally going to be in, and F1 will of course also be taking place later on today at the 1 PM time slot, so in the UK. So make sure you tune into that, and then straight after you can join British F4. So it works in quite a nice way. Works in quite a nice way. The scheduling. So, safety car is going to be coming in, and we are going to leave Enzo Dellini to try and, well, survive and try and bring this home. Enzo Dellini weaving left and right. He's had a lot of time behind the safety car. Now, can he defend this? We make our way round the final few corners on this circuit, and after having nearly half the race behind the safety car, we are green in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine as we come out of the final corner, and it will be Enzo Dellini leading the way down towards the first turn, and in behind Matteo Di Paolo looking in his mirrors, but the ARTs are so close together of Tito Cato and Evan Gilter. There is nothing to separate them. Gilter, a driver who has stood on the podium. That was at the season opening round at Misano, but right now he's trying to get on the podium again around the outside of his teammate. Superb stuff from Gilter, who gains a position and is now finding himself in third, and in behind they've got to be careful because the Prema driver of Freddie Slater, championship leader, is closing in down towards the braking zone we go now, and now Gilter has to defend from his teammate. Tito Cato looks to the outside line. Into the braking zone we go, and Tito Cato will be all out of shape on the inside. Freddie Slater might go for an opportunistic move, and we had Gilter all out of shape. It compromised the exit for his teammate, and we're very nearly 3 wide as we make our way through, and Freddie Slater banging wheel-to-wheel contact there with Gilter as he still tries to go round the outside, but there won't be a way through, and somehow we are back into the same order as we were earlier on. Goodness me, this race delivering all the goods. What an absolutely superb overtake from Evan Gilter that was. Sent it round the outside, but he locked up the Tito Cato. Meant he went side by side with Slater. Was there contact farther back? It was getting very close, I am sure. Round the final corner we go, another lap begins. Wet tyres still don't seem to be working for those drivers who have them on. Slicks are the ones to be on. Evan Gilter, though, on the podium as it stands. Di Paolo closing in on the race lead. Cars absolutely everywhere, spinning. Yamakoshi goes round. The field avoids him. And that is a dramatic spin of that part of the circuit. He'll allow the field to go through. You never want to see a car losing it in that way, but if you go in deep, it's very easy to do so. We had a similar moment for Valtteri Bottas in Formula 1 in 2019, of course. He found his way to the wall and found his way out. That could be the case in a few moments' time. I wouldn't be surprised for Yamakoshi with him being stationary. There goes Freddie Slater down the inside. Dive bomb move attempted there on Taito Kato. And now they rejoin side by side in towards the next few corners we go. Are we going to see Freddie Slater take this position? Battling for P4 they are. At the moment it is so close to contact and Freddie Slater can't find his way through round the outside. So it will be the position gained and maintained for Taito Kato, I should say rather. Superb stuff. Yamakoshi has kept going, by the way. That's critical. He has kept going. Very, very important indeed. Ran into the corner. Lost it, though. Okay, we make our way through. We got going to Yamakoshi. Back to the battle we go. Freddie Slater's been trying time and time again to try and make a move. As meanwhile, that will be what Pedro Clara will be looking for as well. As we go side by side further back, that's Jin Nakamura looking to defend. He's up against Michael Belov there. At the same time, we're also seeing a battle. Pedro Claro's trying to put some pressure and go on the attack. So, who's going to be dishing out the overtake? Looking to the outside, Pedro Claro on the brakes. We'll get that one rotated. It's super, super deep there for Belov. Very deep indeed. He went so far wide. As we make our way through, I was wondering where he went through the camera. He went so far and he went off the road. Did Michael Belov, losing positions in the process. But what a crazy race this is. A race that is in the balance. A race which has plenty of great action that is taking place. Some great action is also further back. Jack Beaton on the back of Belov now. Who after his moment is having to go hyper defensive. Into the Sachs hairpin we go now. Through this part of the circuit, the final few corners, and then you arrive down towards turn number 1, the Nord curve, which is of course a overtaking opportunity to try and make some progress. Pedro Claro closes in on Bora. That's a battle of a P7, a close battle that is going on for P7 at the moment. Freddie Slater, by the way, is going to be back up in behind the driver of Taito Kato and also Evan Gilter. They are together at the moment right now. This championship looking to really close up before Monza. If it finishes in this way, it absolutely would do so. Here we go. Further back, Pedro Clara now looks to try and pounce. Pedro Clara looks to the outside line. Once again, it will need to be a battle on the exit if he can find a way by. Spits of rain still coming down here at Hockenheim, and Pedro Claro could not overtake at that part of the circuit. Rashid Al Daheri, though, is going to be looking to do exactly that in a few moments' time. In towards the braking zone. Bora defends. Claro attacks. The more they go on, the more they bring the driver of Kanato Lee into play in behind. Al Daheri, meanwhile, is battling. That is with Igozi as they run side by side. Into the Sachs hairpin go Freddie Slater. And the leaders, they've just made their way through that part of the circuit. Enzo Dellini now has got a good advantage by FRECA standards to Matteo Di Paolo. See the gaps over the line and how it's looking. But yeah, Dellini looking good at the moment as he tries to win this race. But Matteo Di Paolo, I'm sure, will have something to say about it. He would love to go and chase down and get those extra points as well to make sure that he is the leader when it comes to this championship fight. Oh! Off the road! We saw the moment, and now we see it fully in our camera shot. The G4 racing car, full wet compound of tyres, not working out And that'll be another safety car. Because Al-Mashari's found his way off the road. And he's found his way all the way. Slick compound of tyres, I should say. Slick compound of tyres, I should say. Apologies. The slick compound of tyres. It looks like they must have changed them then at some point. Because I thought they would have got away with it. Wheel to wheel we go. Safety car comes out. We're still side by side. Do they make the corner? The safety car's out. They'll need to behave themselves. They'll need to argue that one later on. Are they still racing? They're still racing. They're still racing round the outside. And taking the position has gone Taito Kato. What happened there? He's given it back. Sorry, Kanata Lee, I should say, rather, who he was battling with. He's given it back critically, but the safety car's out once again. What a race of FRECA. Let's hope this one can be cleared quickly, because I know it does take time down there with that part of the circuit. So let's hope we do get a finish. Feels quite weird that this is it for FRECA. We don't normally race at this time for FRECA, because they would be having qualifying usually at this moment. But the scheduling has been weird this week, where Friday is when we have seen Fridays where we have seen qualifying done for race 2. Race 1 quali was done Saturday morning. Yuan Pusue's come in, by the way, to make a pit stop. So that's also happened at the moment in time. So, just taking a look at a replay. Yeah, big moment for Al-Mashari. He just went straight off, didn't he? Another driver in. Who's that? That is the Prema car. Yuan Pusue. Yeah, so it is Yuan Pusue, who came in as I mentioned. Thought there was someone else in as well. Just Yuan Pusue. On go. The wet compound of tyres as the rain comes down. He's gambling. He believes it is time. I can't believe it. Is there going to be 2 races that I've covered in a row where the rain is just going to come down? Right, my race control messages are trying to say that the safety car's coming in, but I don't know how truthful that is, because yeah, I don't know how truthful that is, because last time I saw they were just repairing it. So I'm unsure about that. The truth behind that. I'll try refresh it. It's going to refresh a lot for you, by the way. There we go. Just hoping it works. So the rain's really coming down. They have a decision to make. Here we go. Is anyone going to dive it in? Does anyone gamble? No one as of yet. I'm seeing Al-Daheri. I think Al-Daheri's coming in, not the only one. Jack Beaton's in. Jack Beaton's in. We've got people taking the risk. This is quite literally like the F1 Academy race that I just had. This is wild. I was talking about the F1 Academy race and we're getting the same scenario. Edith Robinson. Oh, Jack Beaton trying to get on with it. But disappointment for Yuan Van Trey. There. Yuan Pushrey. Sorry. Rain's really coming down. This could be absolute drama. Now don't tell me we get a scenario where they let F1 Academy race at Singapore, but they're not going to let these lot race in FRECA in these conditions. Hold on, Slater's got past Tyler Carter. When did that happen? We didn't see that at all. That happened eventually, at some point. Slater has got past Tyler Carter. Must have been when we were focusing on some of the other drama. A lot for the TV director to show us, so we didn't actually get to see it. But Slater has got through on Tyler Carter. Hopefully safety car will be in next lap. Red flag's out. The red flag's out. Well, why is the red flag out? The red flag's flying. Are we just not gonna do anything with this race? Well. Okay then. They're gonna red flag it and probably not resume it. Is what's gonna happen. Well, I don't know what to say in terms of that. That is an anticlimactic ending. The clock's still ticking down. I don't know why they've done that. The race will not resume. They've just decided not to resume it. Well, I mean, I mentioned... Well, I mean, I mentioned that they let F1 Academy do it, but they've not let FRECA do it. So, they let F1 Academy at Singapore do it, and look how perfect they showed themselves. These drivers don't get the same opportunity. Oh, that is a shame. That is such a shame. They won't even get to finish this. The race will not resume. And we're done. Enzo Dellini, the winner of Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Well, you know, I was complaining earlier about the FIA coming in this series and all of the other few stuff with, you know, what's gone wrong with Formula 1 at times and stuff. But at the same time, they handled F1 Academy so much better than how this has been handled. It's crazy that, you know, we can do a few green flag racing laps and then we get given 25 points. Okay, well, let's run you through the results and then we're going to go off to GB3 where we'll hopefully get some proper racing. Enzo Dellini, Matteo Di Paolo, Evan Gilter, Freddie Slater, Tyler Carter, Dion Gatto, Akshay Bora and Pedro Claro, your top 8. Kanato Lee, Jin Nakamura, Igozi, Rashid Al-Daheri, Michael Belov, Jack Beaton and Edie Robinson and Kasper Stuka. That's 9th to 16th. Zenarishi, Tim Gerhardt, Zanea Frey, Yuan Pusue, Nant Howard Birnbakti, Edward Borna, Yaroslav Vesilaho and Hiyu Yamakoshi. Giovanni Maschio, Shakar Masheri, Nikita Bedrin is a retirement. Same applies to Ricky Liu. Well, that's absolutely ludicrous. Just taking a look at where GB3 are at because, well, I'm going straight over there. Don't like how this race has been treated one bit. Find it absolutely ridiculous. Just find it absolutely ridiculous that they just red flag it in that way. I think they absolutely needed to let them race. Which, you know, we are biased in terms of action, but come on. Surely we should have been able to green flag race that. Very disappointing. Oh, look at this, everybody. Look at our live timings. I mean, they're reset, but I don't mind them resetting this time. But look at that. It's my grid. It's my Porsche Super Cup drivers. Oh, fantastic. My Porsche Super Cup drivers. Well, most of them. Some of them I haven't even seen ever before. Hopefully we will get to see them one day in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. But look at this. We've got some of our former drivers. We've got some of our current drivers. There is actually a lot of Porsche Carrera Cups going on. There's one in Singapore and there's one here as well. Wild. Absolutely wild stuff. Okay. Let's see how this one's going to play out then. With the podium. We will get them making their way onto the podium positions now. And they will find themselves with a P3 going the way of Evan Gilter. Matteo Di Paolo's in second, who closes back in the championship battle. And first, of course, Enzo Dellini. Diongada, the rookie winner. Once again. Diongada, absolutely getting used to that. The trophies are given. P3 for Gilter. Nice performance, nice driving by him. A P2 going the way as well of Matteo Di Paolo, who closes the gap to 6 points heading into... he closes it by 6 points, I should say. There's 4 between them. 4 points only between them at Monza. Heading into Monza. It's going to be absolutely extraordinary. What a championship finale it could be between the two drivers who are going to be teammates next year at Trident in the FIA Formula 3 Championship. But for now, all to play for. And Diongada has been given his trophy as well. Time for the French national anthem. Congratulations to Enzo Dellini. It has been an absolutely incredible, phenomenal race. And we will now prepare for a title finale. Okay. Well, that is it. That is it. The World Feud concludes. We will do the same. 4 points stand between our top two in FRECA. One more round remains. I cannot wait to have everyone's company at Monza, where we will crown a champion, reach race number 100, and also, possibly for the first time, get to experience the last race title finale. All of that coming your way at the Temple of Speed. We hope to have your company. See you there. Goodbye.